Hello, my name is Matthew, and welcome to the Legacy of Kain series presents Soul Reaver, the remix, featuring Raziel. This is Soul Reaver 2. God, this series is so inconsistently named. The Legacy of Kain series. It looks so stupid having that there. Anyway, lots of love for when I booted up the original Soul Reaver a few weeks back, and very excited to play Soul Reaver 2 because I have never touched this. As I told you guys, I think I started this series. No, that's not exactly accurate. I did play the original Blood Omen on the PC, like when it was kind of new, and I think I played Soul Reaver 1 like for a few minutes at like a friend's house on his PlayStation, but other than that, I immediately started in Defiance, which is still hilarious / sad to many of you. But this is Soul Reaver 2. I know a few things about its history, not a whole lot, but man, I really want to make that Legacy of Kain retrospective or what happened or something. I'm really jazzed about doing that. I just don't have the time right now, but I want to get to it. It will happen. It will happen. Alright, so this is the ending of Soul Reaver.
I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
No.
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such,
Little sparkles.
as long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must
Good
keep his
stuff,
friends
Raziel.
close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer.
Sploit.
Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nozgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic?
Oh!
Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours.
Alright, Kain owns a planetarium. Planetariums are mega lame.
You nearly had me, Raziel.
Did I? I just did like a ninja kick and then that was it. Oh wait, it didn't work, I'm back.
Wow, it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds. Completely.
Yeah, I just came in to talk more shit. Finish my promo. Just go in. Don't hesitate. You fool. Stop hesitating. Oh god, you're gonna regret this maybe. Okay, good. I thought he was gonna hesitate and it would close on him and he'd just be like, Kain! And then it would just cut to credits. So yeah, I know that the ending...
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah.
I think this is Mobius.
Time span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
Nani? So I know that the ending of the original Soul Reaver was not what they intended. They had to cut a shitload of shit. And this game tries to rectify that in some ways. They're basically like, yeah, that ending didn't really happen like that.
Question. In your case, when might be more apt?
Raziel looks cool in game. Looks way awesome.
Snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me.
That's a reason why I can't use the Soul Reaver right away, I assume.
Drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of...
Time Guardian. Time Cop.
No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you.
He's a time nerd. Of course he knows you.
Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes.
That looks like an orc.
The circle, the most depraved and decadent example.
He looks like an idiot. He's wearing jeans.
We slaughtered 6 of my fellow guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so?
I'll kill them.
Malefactor Kain, the one who betrayed and destroyed you, our common enemy. Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you.
I mean, the series could basically be called Everybody Hates Kain. Really.
Simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you.
What the fuck are you showing me?
Kain is lying.
Wow, you lit the candles.
Snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy. Foolishly confident that
That Nozgoth and its pillars, don't get me started.
Pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Kain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision.
I have.
Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nozgoth is in peril.
Yeah, everyone hates Kain, I know.
Be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the Stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Thanks.
My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you.
Tell them.
Fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum.
They're grossed out by my weird appearance. Just tell them who I am.
All great movements require a few martyrs.
Raziel's all like, Nani? This is some bullshit.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
Raziel's like, aw, shit. Here we go again. That's a weird walk cycle. So, yeah, this is Soul Reaver 2. I tried getting a PC version of this, but it was a fucking nightmare. Soul Reaver 2 does not seem to play very nicely at all on Windows 10. The controls are all fucked up. This series needs to have a remaster or a remake. It's as simple as that. I don't know why it is such an issue. All right, I have 2 attacks. I have Raziel's patented kicks. You know, he's well known for that. Can't go here. That's fine. I can do that. D-pad. It's crouchy. How do I want to be able to do, there you go, select. All right, that's the one thing I kind of, let's open. Let's kill some soldiers. I guess it's like, what's Mobius supposed to tell his guards? Like, he's supposed to tell the starting enemies of the game to what? Oh, don't fight. So I guess that makes sense, but don't make them as soldiers or something. I don't know. He said I would be no match for them, but they're actually quite strong for a starting fucking enemy. Oh, hold for feed. No, come back, little soul. I need to reave you. And that doesn't look as cool as it normally does. I have a weapon, though, so that's still a mainstay. So I've heard a lot of things about this game, how it's actually not that great, like it was rushed. I think Amy Hennig actually wound up, I think circumstances were thrust upon her, that she wound up directing this, but it was like, you know, it was a fractured development. They had to move directly to the PS2, because weirdly enough, oh my god, thank you, Tapestry, for being very annoying. Weirdly enough, it's like Soul Reaver 1 came on the PlayStation, the Dreamcast, PC, but this only ever came out on the PC and PS2. It never got any other port, which is a little weird. I mean, Xbox, because then this game, not this came out, but the other ones were, like, one was on the GameCube, I think Blood Omen 2, but not Defiance. It's all over the place. It's like the fucking Kingdom Hearts of its day. I mean, that's something. You can cut off their heads. It's cool too, I guess. Why would I want to kill bats? Bats are like my little brothers and sisters. Oh, Soul, get in there. Come on, let me gobble you. Those doors are massive. Why they gotta be so big? I have like a little compass. If I don't have a map, the Dark Chronicle, of course, it has to be called that. It's not going to be called like the Cheery Chronicle or the Doki Doki Chronicle, you know?
Throughout the Stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest.
This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Those are just heads on pikes? That's pretty cool. So, this combat, well, functional, I don't know. Doesn't feel amazing. I know it's early days PS2. This was like, what, 2001? It just lacks a certain impact so far. Maybe we need to get a few moves. I'm not sure what we need. You know, things lack a certain amount of collision. That's actually kind of shocking for a game of this pedigree, in all honesty. Whatever, let us forge ahead. Must be in Spectral. Well, thank you for telling me that. Let's go to Spectral. View map, to shift. Alright, so I kind of have the Soul Reaver. There you go. So it's nice that I start off with that special move. Press select button. Let's do that. And we're back.
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning.
Okay, good.
That orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade. It gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Yeah, that is a really good weapon to fight vampires. A thing that stops vampires. Okay, I kind of wanted her weapon, but it doesn't want to give it to me. That's fine. I don't even need that weapon. There's a lot of sword. Man, this place is massive. I feel like we're all tiny creatures. And this place is actually meant for people far bigger than us. Look at the size of these fucking columns. Oh, that shit looks important.
As I neared the Stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was
It's called being drunk, dude.
King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nozgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain.
And Soul Reaver's so dorky looking.
Until, of course, Kain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me became my symbiotic weapon.
Like the soul of a sword. I mean, it is in this name.
Myself, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell, I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused. For the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity, willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment.
Are you getting a stand?
The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade.
Okay.
But the Reaver knew better than to
You get some Gorilla Glue. You don't need to use your soul.
At the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
That wasn't me, man!
Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nozgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Armed together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Yeah.
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said, death comes for us all.
Oh shit, are we really doing this?
The wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't consider...
That's all I needs.
Kain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel.
Sorry, did you just throw the Soul Reaver down?
In the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
Yeah, he threw it down like it's the girl in Neskar.
Soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that
My little Smurf.
the only chance you get. I assure you of that.
He's a ghost.
Now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned,
Oh.
the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger.
It can't be too horny on Maine. Wait, I was right here. Is this not where the guy... No, it was not where the guy's body was. King Arthur or whatever. Alright, so I got the Soul Reaver for reals this time.
So this was the legendary Janos, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed.
He's getting his shit
According to
bopped.
folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nozgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Seraphim finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore...
Like the guy on the left, the vampire, he's just vibing.
Seraphim therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Seraphim, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
Okay then, that was a big lore dump all of a sudden just for that one guy. Cool. Alright, so with that done, I mean, we didn't really get a resolution there. Are we just leaving? Maybe this door instead. I didn't even try this door. This is not a trying door. Alright, let's reave some souls, I guess. Alright, this barely seems any more powerful than what I had before, in all honesty. Oh, it just makes him gone! Fair enough. And I guess I automatically reaved that soul, I assume. Very front-loaded with cutscenes, this, even more so than the first game.
Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here, and then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been.
Yeah, you look like a PS2 statue, dude. There's not a lot of detail there.
And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
Ooh, pretty. I'm glad we got out of there.
I emerged, and for the first time beheld Nozgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality.
There better be shit behind those waterfalls.
Then, that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nozgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Kain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Kain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
Alright, so we talked about this last time. People let me know why water is sometimes used as a deterrent for vampires. It's bullshit, whatever it is. I don't care. It's like real dumb. It's like water is pure and running water, and vampires just no. Absolutely not. Sunlight's enough. You don't need to make a whole thing with the water. It's ridiculous. I'm allergic to 50% of the day is enough. We really have to put water in there too. Where the fuck am I even supposed to go? I'm assuming I have to go in the water. This is gonna turn out to be real bad. Whee! Am I gonna just fucking die? Oh, I sank to the bottom. Now, some people told me the way that water works in the original Soul Reaver is because they just didn't have time to program like proper water physics, so that's why the ancient ones all like, oh, it's just like you're floating on a cloud, and that's why that there's no X to jump out. Hold L2 and press X to jump out of the water. That's so specific. Which I'll believe.
This arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn to the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Dude, just say save point. You know? You don't have to be all fancy with your prose. Get rid of some of this evil water. Alright, we've done that. I like the sound of the Soul Reaver. It sounds cool. Whee! What is this? Like, these were here before. Is it like a bounce pad? Just a generic dais. I don't know. Fuck! What the shit is this?
These ancient obelisks were
Thank you.
mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
I only need a 4 megabyte PlayStation 2 memory card.
While I had only just escaped the Stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place.
In the traditional search action style.
The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The
There you
gates
go.
were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Okay, can pick up these axes. I wasn't sure. Alright, that has some decent range. So let's try rocking this for a second. Over there! It's one of those vampires that I guess we've been sworn our entire... Oh my god. I mean, yeah, guns beat axes every time. There's the old fatalities that Raziel and his kids love perform. What the? Okay, sure. Alright, you guys just hanging around. Cool, good stuff. Get fucked, sir. Vampires rule. Humans drool.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seemed to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I...
Yeah, vampires are oppressed, it's true.
And had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade.
Now we're gonna go into another stronghold, or... I'm done with the southern lake, or...
Of Nozgoth.
Oh shit.
Whole and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
The canker. The bunion.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me?
Maybe.
Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nozgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
Now just kill him, Raziel.
Chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Yeah.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nozgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these pillars.
bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nozgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel.
He's like, that's true.
This. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as balance god.
Like Ariel? Like the Little Mermaid? Or... Ooh, whoa, neat effect.
My God.
The time bomb.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice.
That's a good point.
What makes you exempt, Kain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough.
It's great stuff, revenge. Everyone loves it.
Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nozgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree then that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle.
This is like two nerds arguing about the rules of the game of D&D that they're playing.
To end this stalemate, you must die so that new guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
Yes, it is. It's true.
A monumental secret hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself.
Ah, come on.
Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
I was about to say, it's possible. Unlikely, but possible. So I don't really understand a lot of that. That was just Kain basically going, it wasn't me. Or, I'm in a really tough position, dude. I don't know what's gonna happen. Bye. I should have just stabbed the shit out of him. Alright, well, yeah. So, I let Kain escape. He can just teleport whenever he wants, so I'm pretty fucked no matter what. In all honesty.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand. Why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I...
Plot convenience, Raziel, that's
I
why.
had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little. And yet, I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn. But if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
But just kill Kain, though. you can kill Kain, then find out the secrets. Kain won't even tell you the secrets, so it's totally fine. You're good. You're good.
From the moment of my arrival,
I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched.
Yeah, is it due to all the crows watching you?
Keenly interested in my presence here.
Yeah, it's probably the crows, man. Don't trust them. Like, I'm surprised you only commented on it just now. I've been concerned about it for a little while. So, like, Kain's like, don't kill me, there's secrets. And then pieces out. Ooh, is that me?
The look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key.
Could be Nightcrawler. That's a lot of magic coming out of the guy's pee hole. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. With the Reaver on, press square to open.
So it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
Yeah, you gotta cross the threshold. If you can cross the threshold, please do. Uh-oh. Pillars.
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place.
Yeah, humans
Suck,
suck, so.
Seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque.
Aw, dude, don't be so down on yourself. Come on.
I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings,
Jesus.
writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover?
Perhaps.
I wondered.
Lies, Raziel.
Yeah. Oh, shit. It's my boy.
My ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here.
My weird octopus eyes.
Me.
Indebted. You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp.
Oh, he's got your number.
Hear me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, his faith will falter.
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel.
Ooh.
The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my Soul Reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast. End the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nozgoth. Kain's blood belongs on your hands.
That's a money line.
Kain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Kain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse. And after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim. Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Rage is a good guide. That's still amazing dialogue from the late Tony J. So, hey, I'm feeling two different ways about this. The story is still really good. I really wish there were subtitles. I checked the options, there are not. Story is still very intriguing, still written, very, very detailed, and with very rich characters. The voice acting obviously helps it. Gameplay wise, though, I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of not feeling it as much. Like, all the combat and the jumping and everything just feels slightly off. I don't know, I can't really place it. And I just these PS2 graphics or something about it's a little less appealing, even though it's obviously visually sharper or visually more detailed. There's just, I don't know. I kind of liked going back to Soul Reaver 1, maybe a slightly bit more, but and this is a good place to stop for now before we get way too deep into it. I want to know, should I continue Soul Reaver 2? Or maybe I should just move more gameplay videos of the rest of the series. There's still Blood Omen 2, and of course Defiance. There's still plenty. I don't know if I want to go back to Blood Omen 1. I'm just saying. But let me know in the comments, and I will see what I can do for you, my vampire brethren.